million hailstorm hits an area, your focus should be on running your business, not on insurance claims. We have helped streamline the insurance process for hundreds of roofing contractors across the U.S., and we can do it for yours too. Visit us online at c3adjusters.com and learn how we can help you save time and get claims paid faster.
Happy Tuesday, everyone. Lead meteorologist Sean Shoka here, barely remembering the day of the week, on our daily 12 p.m. hail forecast, sponsored by C3 Group and Maryland Law Group, as always. We had quite the activity yesterday in North Carolina. I was actually kind of surprised with how big that hail actually got, and it looks like we're going to be seeing more activity coming up here over the next few days. And if you are in the North Carolina area, that's the best storm they probably had in the past couple of years. So you may not have been on hail trace in a little bit. So if you need some help getting everything set up, need some training, some guidance, we are here and happy to help you guys get all set up and reacquainted with the new hail trace system. So just give us a call and we will set up a training. The phone number will be on the screen at the end of the video. So speaking of, this was the storm. Garner, Raleigh, Cary, North Carolina yesterday. We had up to baseball size hail, shockingly, and about 111,666 homes were impacted. We didn't go live on this one only because the radar in Raleigh, North Carolina yesterday was indeed down. So it was a little more challenging than usual to map this storm. We had to pick it up from either the Outer Banks or up in Virginia. So it made it so doing a live coverage of the storm would have been less than ideal. Had to really kind of get into the weeds there to get the storm. But don't worry, it's all mapped, it's all great. And look at all the pictures that came in here. Look at that. We had up to, again, a lot of baseball size hail. And look at the sheer volume of it. There was tons and tons of hail. Lots of videos of branches getting shredded off of trees. It's kind of hard to tell in this picture here, but you can see all the siding completely jacked up. And I saw tons and tons and tons of cars where the back windows were blown out, side windows were blown out, dented to all hell. It was quite the storm. Not quite a 5-star map. There wasn't enough homes impacted on our little scale that we have to make it a 5-star. It was a high-end 4-star map. The storm was about 10 miles to the north. It probably would have been a 5-star. It just didn't quite get to that minimum threshold that we have. I know our star rankings are fairly subjective, but we do have some raw numbers that we try to run off of. We also had a storm yesterday in Stillwater, Oklahoma. Stillwater hasn't really been hit too many times in the last few years, so we had it's set up to golf ball size hail. Golf ball size hail was not in Stillwater. It was up to ping pong ball size hail. We had about 4,042 homes impacted. And look at the storms here. This was all in Stillwater. Up to some ping pong ball size hail. Pretty good little storm. Kind of went up and hit the center of town. This one was actually at Oklahoma State University, if you guys know the area at all. And again, a pretty solid quarter at a ping pong ball event. Nice little 2-star map to end your Monday on there. So what do we have in store for today? Well, we have another pretty low end, small chance for hail. I think this one's going to be very, very low end on that spectrum. I wouldn't be surprised if almost no storms form, but give that 2% chance for Kansas City, Springfield, and 5% for Columbia. There's a slightly higher chance the storms might actually form there. Pretty marginal in terms of the hail sizes. Kind of reminds me of yesterday in Oklahoma, where you could possibly get close to that 1 or 2 storms that could have golf balls in it, but for the most part, it looks to be, if anything does happen at all this afternoon and this evening, it would be mostly quarter to $half size hail, maybe up to some ping pong balls. And yes, so you're saying there's a chance? Yes, but don't worry if you're in Kansas City and you're like, man, God, Jesus, we haven't had a good storm yet. Don't worry, there's a lot more coming along down the pipeline here. And I guess I'll stay on the other side. You can see a couple storms forming this evening. Most of these are pretty far off to the east from Kansas City, so that's why their chances are pretty low. But hey, you're telling me there's a chance that is the case for sure. Otherwise, we move straight on to tomorrow, where this is all kind of like a little warm-up for what's going to be coming starting on Friday. Looks like we'll see some storms way up in North Dakota. So we're going way up close to Canada here. A couple storms are going to form, probably up to some tennis ball size hail is possible anywhere here in the orange. However, it is very, very rural unless the very small points and a very large bale of hay that is the state of North Dakota gets hit with anything like Bismarck or Fargo or Jamestown, or that's about it really. It'll probably not hit too many people, but again, up to tennis ball size hail with that. And then we move ahead and look at the future radar, and you see quite a bit of activity forming there across the afternoon hours of tomorrow. And then we push things a little further to the east towards the Great Lakes region going into the middle portion of the week. So here's that 5-day, the all-important 5-day that's going to push beyond 5 days. If you pay any attention to the Storm Prediction Center, for the first time ever, they forecasted on their days 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, they had a risk for severe weather every single one of those days. This never happened before, and they even mentioned days 9 and 10. We're going into a very, very, very active pattern starting on Friday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, we already mentioned. Thursday, this looks to be an area near Chicago, and we could see up to some golf ball size hail. I mentioned it yesterday. It's looking, I've kind of refined it a little bit. It's looking like we could see some hail before things turn to a more wind risk. Friday is going to be that first day where we're going to have the real good risk of severe weather. However, it's going to be kind of far off out into the Texas panhandles, western Kansas. Great for storm chasing. Probably going to see some pretty solid tornadoes. We'll be out chasing that. However, in terms of high impact population, pretty low unless we get something in the Texas area and up to baseball size hail with that. And then Saturday is probably a much more high interest day for most of you guys who watch on here. It looks like an I-35 setup possible. Already a 10% chance of seeing a 3-star out of that. Up to baseball size hail, high population on this one. And we're going to go through, I'm going to bring it all the way to Sunday. So one day beyond our 5 days. So really 6 days here. It looks like we have area of risk. Here it is on Thursday. Anywhere from south of Minneapolis. I've taken Minneapolis out of Thursday's risk now. And then all the way down towards Chicago, possibly into northwestern Indiana. That could be up to golf ball size hail before it turns into a wind risk. And then we go on to Friday, and this is snaking all the way up the high plains. We could maybe see Grand Island or I think like Hays, Kansas, Great Bend, Dodge City are all in there. Western Oklahoma, it's going to be west of the Oklahoma City area, maybe Amarillo, Lubbock, or Midland, Odessa, maybe possibly as far east as Abilene on Friday. Saturday, however, this is the day that's going to probably get much more of you guys excited. This is all up and down I-35, down from about San Antonio to Austin, Dallas, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Wichita, Kansas City, Omaha, all at risk for Saturday. Saturday could be a pretty violent day if things on Friday don't go a little too overboard. Sunday, we shift a little further east towards St. Louis and parts of Arkansas, possibly a good chunk of Illinois, and then going to, I don't think I have, oh yeah, I don't have Monday on here yet, but Monday resets, and this could be the most volatile day across Oklahoma, Texas, and Kansas. Of course, that's pretty far out, but there's already a lot of analogs coming up that are a little alarming in terms of big-time tornadoes and everything. So, a lot to watch in the upcoming days. I had this graphic yesterday. I'm going to show it again. This pattern is taking hold, and it's going to hold on for the remainder of May, probably into the beginning of June as well. So hold on to your butts, guys. It looks like we're about to be a pretty active pattern as we really just see all these low pressure systems kind of ride this, what we like to call ski jump, and it brings a lot of activity, multiple storm chances, with the dry line kind of sloshing back and forth across the southern and central plains, and then the warm fronts that tend to kind of meander around the Great Lakes, both major triggers for big time storms. So again, looks like we're seeing quite a bit of activity starting on Friday. Saturday could be a big day for I-35. Sunday further east towards St. Louis. And then Monday we reset and we're back into the Oklahoma area again, possibly I-35 a second time. Tuesday we'll probably push a little further east. And then Wednesday looks like we reset again. And then Wednesday could be big, Thursday, etc. So it looks like we're going to be seeing quite a bit of activity coming up here, guys. So you gotta make sure you stick with us here on Hail Trace. Hit follow, hit see first. We of course will do any live coverage of any big storms that occur, any exciting storm chasing where there's cell phone reception. We'll actually be able to do live coverage of that as well, and all that other fun stuff. We're gearing up. We're getting everyone ready at the office. The team is going to be ready for probably a pretty intense long-range event or a long-term event. So give us a call, email us, or visit our website at hailtrace.com with any comments, questions, or concerns you may have. If you're new to Hailtrace, you want to find out more about us, feel free to give us a call, and we will fill you in on what Hailtrace has to offer for you. And of course, you can also call us if you are having issues with the website, you need some training and some guidance. And finally, follow us on Instagram, not just yet another social media platform for you guys to follow us on. Eventually, we'll be going live on Instagram as well once what we use to stream onto multiple platforms at once includes Instagram onto there as well. So multiple different ways for you guys to watch us. Hope you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday. We will see you again tomorrow with our daily 12 p.m. hail forecast, where we'll continue to get a little bit closer to the big meat and potatoes of what looks to be the busiest part of storm season. And we will see you guys again tomorrow. So have a great day, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.